Last licks of Mercury goes direct on Wednesday.
Hold on. All right. Hello. Good afternoon. I know it's the crack of noon, isn't it? So good afternoon and welcome.
It's Monday again.
It's Magickal Monday again, apparently. So, yes, I'm Anton, and I guess you must be Lisa. Right?
Sometimes people call me that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, sometimes people call me Anton. They call me other things too. But yeah, well,
oh, goodness me.
laugh in the face of the Mercury retrograde. We made it work, I believe. So,
I'm telling
if you are seeing us, I'm going to go over to the YouTube review.
It's been a doozy, hasn't it?
Oh God! And how?
I was remarking yesterday that even Facebook has succumbed to the crazy because it's like flipping through a whole bunch of posts while you're trying to read them. And it's even worse today. So I was just like, I'm not ADD. I can't deal with this.
I couldn't get it to switch over them. My dot was refusing to play. Oh, good. Well, hello, Amber. Oh, and happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And who else?
And we have Anne-Marie, and we have Anna, and we have Savannah, and we have Wendy.
The gang's almost all here. We just need Gilda wherever she is. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we're getting there.
All right.
Yes, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you happen to be in the world.
I'm going to take another sip of tea.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. We can't just glug at the same time. Yes, right. Share a non-soda with me. It's nice. Yes, go on. And what are we doing today?
Well, today we're going to talk a little bit about astrology, and we're going to talk about Chinese astrology, the year of the water rabbit.
Ooh.
And then we're going to talk about our relaunch of some of our subscriptions.
New year.
And I'm going to talk about my new little series of book reviews.
Oh my goodness gracious me. She's getting quite creative on the tube of you.
Well, I'm really, really trying to learn about computer things, but to be totally honest, it is so not my thing, right? Here's what I'll say about it. I learned things by patterns, and I guess it's called by rote.
Yeah.
So I'll ask Anton how to do something, and I'll break down number 1, click on such and so. Number 2, click on this thing. Number 3, type that in. And then the next time, it's nothing like that. Remember that old commercial, you could call me Ray, or you could call me Jay? Because he'll come over and he'll go, well, you could click on here, or you could click on there, or clickety-clack, clickety-clack. And he's like, you can't learn by rote. And I'm like, I can't learn if I can't learn by rote.
In my defense, I will just say this much. Change is the only constant. And if you think you've learned something, somebody, especially, look at the times they just changed Facebook.
Okay, but I don't understand the whole system. Well, I don't understand the whole system. So it's like my mind is blown, and I'm like, it's like me saying to you.
Understand the metaphor.
It's like me saying to you, your shoes are in the closet on the floor on the left. And that's where they are every day. Except now they're on the shelf on the right, on my side. You can't find it. Because he'll be like, that button. I'm like, where the button is moved? Oh my God, never mind.
I have to...
Enough about that.
Enough. I have to go to Google quite frequently to figure things out. So it is the way. It is the way.
Don't
things
ask
change,
me. But I'm slowly learning...
Final Cut.
Final
Cut's really good. Really good program if you're an Apple person.
Recently,
you don't know it.
Okay, quite some time ago, people asked me to do like a little section in the shop of my book picks.
Oh yeah,
right?
Lisa's
because
picks. Yeah,
when you come in, if you're brand new to the craft, it's quite overwhelming. There's 3,000 books in there.
Some good,
and some of them are
not
wonderful,
so
and some of them are like regurgitated poo-poo because somebody got it wrong once, and then everybody thereafter gets it wrong.
Oh my!
And as most of you know, I'm more of a Wiccan snob than I am a Reiki snob. Somebody else has arrived.
Oh, hello, and Happy New Year to you also. And can you send a super chat request? You can do whatever you want, Diane. That's a wonderful thing.
Yes. if you send a super chat, we'll give you a 3-card reading. We do have cards.
We do.
Dun, ta-da. Right.
Which was really confusing the other day.
So I'm doing a little bit of research, and spy work
on
YouTube to see what some of the other witches are doing and what's popular. And lo and behold, book reviews seem to be popular. So what I did was divide them by subject, right? So like astrology, tarot, the different subjects that people would be looking to learn.
This could be a lifetime's work.
And I picked from what I think are like the top authors or the top books that you need to read or have an understanding of or learn the language of. So then I did like little 10-minute videos where I review the books and talk about the contents of the book or why it might be useful for whatever particular subject. And I'm starting out with beginners things.
Why not? Yeah.
And then later on, we'll get into like the Golden Bough and
the training and work of
transcendental meditation and
self-initiation into the Golden Dawn,
whatever else. No, but for now, I just so you'll see. I'm hoping to get them up later today. I've done 4 so far.
Ambitious or what?
4 so far, and I have 4 more to go. So I'd like to get those up and see if anybody's really interested in Lisa's picks. But where do you start? That which you are seeking is causing you to seek. So you want to join in and you want to understand and you want that deep dive. Mm-hmm. But then, how do you find a teacher or who do you trust? Anna's saying something.
She's saying she loves the book review idea. Anna, it's a great idea, and I tell you what as well. For those of you that don't know, I'm feverishly. I can't even say it. I'm working. Thank you. Breaking the teeth in for
it's
a friend.
That Mercury
feverishly working on the new website
or something like that.
Something like that, or at least I'm trying to. And this is one of the things. This is the idea. Is one of the things that people love. Blowing our own trumpet a little bit. One of the things that people love when they come into the store is we kind of know what we're talking about, and that sounds immodest, but
well, after 30 years, you think we might have some clue, although there's
no
guarantee of it.
Well, that's true, but if we don't know, we're going to say we don't know. We're going to say, listen, I've no idea.
I do get
I've
asked
not read it, or
about,
whatever. But
about subjects that I haven't studied, and all I can do then is say, well, these are the books that we have, and feel free to read the back. Don't break the binding, and see if there's one that looks like it talks to you.
Or in your case, pick it up and open page 63. 62.
So it's page 62. Yeah, that was a riot. For whatever reason, it's called, I think, bibliomancy.
Bibliomancy, yeah. There's another mancy for you.
Whenever we get in a book, I always read page 62, and for whatever reason, that tells me like whatever I need to know about the book. So this is a true story. I have witnesses.
It's true. It's true.
Operation Cone of Power.
Operation Cone of Power. It's an excellent book, by the way.
Philip Pesselson and
Moira Hendrickson, isn't it? If that's it. Henderson.
Hodgkin. It's a long last name. Anyway, I'm sorry for murdering your name.
Moira, I'm sorry. You're a lovely author.
So the book came in and I read page 62. And that's all I had time to read before we had the virtual book signing. So Moira and Ashley came on Zoom, and the people who had purchased the book and gotten a signed author thing were at this little Zoom book launch. And Ashley said to the group, what in particular about the book moved you? And I said, well, as usual, I only read page 62. And the story there is about Gerald and Daffo and her like leaning into him and seeking comfort and safety during the war. And I said, so I've only read that page, and that really stuck out to me, like how much a high priestess would look to her high priest for protection and comfort.
Well, it was the one thing it was like this cursed war, wasn't it?
Yeah, just wait now.
Oh, well, I have to wait.
That's the other part.
Oh, okay.
You want to tell that part?
No,
so
it's okay.
He asked Moira,
So what was the thing that that really got you in writing the book?
The author, yeah.
We all have these things. What was the thing that you perhaps related to most, or you learned whilst writing this, or really cut you to the core kind of thing? Because I always love to know stuff like that. And what did she say?
She said, well, it's about the Cursed War, and Daffo saying that she didn't even have eggs and flour to be able to make her daughter's wedding cake.
They have to have a cardboard cake.
That appears on page 62 before she puts her head into Cheryl's shoulder. And I said,
okay.
That's on page 62. The only page I read.
True, though.
And Ashley just moved on. I said, wait a minute. Aren't you going to validate that? Because really, that's my life. That's my crazy life. And he said, well, magic is magic. We got to get on to the next.
So why are we always surprised when magic happens?
Why are we surprised when magic works or magic happens?
We are, though, aren't we?
What the hell? And I was like, wait a minute.
Maybe in the words of Yoda, that is why we fail, because we should always expect our magic's going to happen,
Yeah, well, believe it or don't, right?
Yeah.
We're back to that... believe it when you see it. See
Anna
it
Maria
when you
sent
believe
us
it.
a super chat. Thank you, Anna Marie. That's
Alrighty.
very kind of you. You can tell that because now the lights will flash. Only the overhead ones, not the big ones. Otherwise it gets very confusing.
So there's that. Just fun stories.
Oh,
and
yes.
Would also like to say to everybody that Mercury is going direct on the 18th, which is Wednesday.
So, yeah, it's only a couple of days away.
But I'm going to take my happy little ephemeris out.
It takes a while to get out of its shadow,
And
doesn't it?
I'm going to just look because I can't remember everything anymore. I'm old. And I'm having the last hit of my Saturn return. So let's just see. When Mercury went retrograde...
So is Mercury retrograde shadow a really... I'm going to ask you this just because it occurs to my little pea brain at this moment in time. Because one of the most advantageous things of a Mercury retrograde is the ability to redo something you didn't finish, you made a screwed up first time or whatever, it needs another look at. So Mercury takes you back and you can do it again.
Right.
But it's going to cross its shadow twice. Once on the way into the retrograde from where its original station, and then again as it returns back to its
okay.
So is it like that shadow is like really an auspicious time, especially if something needs a complete going over? Is that a really auspicious
definitely,
time
whenever
to do
we
that?
see retrograde, it's a time to redo, rethink, reapply, regroup, whatever you want to put RE in front of. But I'll explain
retreat.
I can explain the concept like this.
Yes.
Right? So Mercury was going forward and the lights were on in the room.
The lights were on in the room.
So the lights are on in the room and you can see all you have to work with for that planet. Right? So Mercury is communication, computers, short distance travel, purchases of electronics like iPhones, creativity, all the things that have to do with throat chakra, that kind of thing. Right. Now, it got to 17 degrees. Right? No, I'm sorry. It got to 24 degrees.
I have no idea who M. Morton 0916 is, but
well, they'll have to tell us their question.
Thank you for the super chat.
All right. So it got to 24 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And the lights went out.
Oh dear. So now you're fumbling around in the dark.
So now you have to try to remember what these tools are like. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So when Mercury goes direct again, it's not like somebody turned all the lights on in the room again.
Right.
And now you're used to fumbling around in the dark.
Story of my life, actually.
So while Mercury is getting back from 8 degrees to 24 degrees, which happens on the 7th of February.
It's quite a noticeable shift, isn't it? Because obviously Mercury's not going backwards. It's just how we view it, because we're moving too at the same time.
Right. So it's like the lights are gradually coming back on while it's in the shadow. You think what shadow is?
Yes.
Right? So if you...
it's almost like an eclipse kind of thing. You get in the
in
darkness
a sense,
and then it gets brighter.
In a sense. So that's the way I could explain it to the layman, right? Yes, now Mercury is direct. but it's not full lights on for that planet until it goes past the shadow, which will be February 7th. And then we're going to have all planets direct until May. So there's going to be a real push of energy.
Hold your hat on.
February, March, April.
What a hell of a spring. Yeah. Quite literally spring.
Yeah. No, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Anna Marie, who says general.
Yeah, okay. And
so things should become clearer as far as Mercury is concerned.
Clear as mud, girl. Yes, definitely.
And then the other planets are all going to be direct, so you can use...
You're allergic to me, aren't
They're
you?
light,
I'm convinced you're allergic to me. No, but I'm quite excited for this spring. I can already feel a quickening.
The stirring, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a definite...
And who's the other person? We don't know
I don't know. M. Morton, introduce yourself. And if you're looking for a reading, please, or you're just being generous, we appreciate that too, because that's really kind and sweet of you. Right. But if you'd like a reading, just tell us what you'd like to know, because we don't know who M. Morton 0916 is.
You can just say general. We don't have to know.
Although probably your birthday's September the 16th. I'd take a guess at that.
I don't know.
I might.
Van.
A two.
A three.
Is a count.
You mentioned you hope things become clearer. And I think that I have 3 major arcana cards for you, Anna Marie. So
non-trivial.
Those are like 3 separate paragraphs or 3 things that are happening all at once.
Share them with her.
Well,
in a bit.
like usually we only do one major thing, right? Like we have a new relationship.
Normal people.
Right. Or we decide we're going to move. We're going to sell a house. We're going to change our career. We're going to, major things that affect a piece of time, right? Not this is what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm talking about
significant life decisions.
Decisions that affect a piece of time. So it seems like there's like 3 things going on. And she says, so maybe clarity through spring.
Explains my spinning head. Yeah. Oh, bless. Okay.
Definitely going to spring ahead. Now, where business is concerned, I feel like there's a lot of misinformation or not telling the whole truth. I have the moon here, and we can't even see if it's a moon or a sun, right? Oh. So there's deliberate cloaking. So if somebody has said they're going to invest a certain amount of money, they may not have that money. If somebody says they're going to invest a certain amount of time, they may not have that time. I do think that it's all going to come right in the end. There is that kind of light at the end of the tunnel. But I really think you need to filter what people are telling you and figure out what the truth is. Physical well-being, and I say that because the next card I have is Virgo, the Hanged Man. Physical well-being, I feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You're still moving forward. It's just maybe slower than you would like. And I do think that you are going to kind of come forward to the fact that you need to take care of you. And I don't mean to be selfish, but I mean, garbage in, garbage out, that you have to do something to help yourself, but it may be a slow process. The other thing I think that's going on is home and relationship, and I see that to be like you're solid. Your home is your castle, and that's your place that is really going to bring you solace. And I see a really strong relationship. So I think that's what I see going forward.
Gosh, you'd be you, eh? Well, I think you do you very well, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, we've got the Moon, the Hangman, and the Emperor. So the Emperor is, to me, it's very much about, you are master of your destiny, and definitely it's necessary sometimes to to draw a line in the sand and actually lay down the law. And I mean that quite seriously. Because I feel like, as the first card that you got was the moon, there's some conniving going on here. You know, things are not necessarily as they appear, nor are they necessarily otherwise. But there's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise and a lot of distraction. And the trouble is, you know, when I don't want to say when tempers get flared, but when people get heated, you know, they're so keen to make their point, they're not actually listening to what anybody else is saying other than for the gap in the speaking so they can interject their point. Or sometimes they'll just talk over everybody else. And everything louder than everything else doesn't work. Trust me, I know this. I've been there, done it, seen it, got the T-shirt. So sometimes the best way to communicate is the 2 ears, 1 mouth thing. To really listen and be incredibly astute and perhaps keep your own counsel and not, you know, get drawn into a mudslinging match kind of thing. As Lisa says, I believe it's going to work itself out. I think there's just like this almost arguing for the sake of arguing, like somebody holding on to principles, especially if their authority is threatened. That I feel that that's where it is. If they see you as a threat to their authority or whatever, you know, you may lock horns here. Is what I'm trying to say. But listen, this is the key. Okay, when you find yourself blocked, yeah, don't focus on the obstacle. Start looking for ways around it.
Over, under, through.
Exactly. I'm going to have to give you an analogy, and I apologise for this, but when I was learning to drive, I was very, very, very lucky because the Saturday job I had when I was like at school, the governor of the garage there where I was working was in his lodge was a police advanced driving instructor, and he taught me to drive from the get-go. And I can honestly say that bloke has saved my life more times than I care to think about, because he'd do all sorts of daft stuff like cover up the mirror and say what car's 2 cars behind you, and just, you know, he would have me look all the time, and he would say if something pulls out in front of you or something runs in the way, don't be looking at that. You'd be assessing where you're going to go. Where are you going to put your vehicle to avoid that accident? What's your route around that? And that's the key. What you focus on comes into focus. And I think especially when you get into a confrontational situation, and I want to feel that this is something to do with the, I hate to say the word academia, that sometimes if you find yourself in that, you know, locking horns and somebody like, you know,
or like legal papers or things that have to be done a certain way.
So look, I've turned him the right way up. Look, sometimes you have to change your perspective. You have to physically move your ass from where you're standing, because you can only see from where you're standing. And if you continue to look at it the same way, you know, if you're trying to find your way out the forest, climb a tree, you know. So this is about turning things necessarily on their head to gain a broader perspective. And I think you will receive the enlightenment that you need to get there. Although, expect a little bit of challenge, but you will be victorious. Definitely.
Oh yeah, no, it's very
Definitely.
positive. It's just like, here's the bump in the road.
But I wish I could tell you it's just going to be dead easy.
No.
I'm sorry, love. It just, you've got to choose your battles, but you'll win the war. No
we
worries.
have Mercedes. That's who M. Moto is.
Oh, hello, Mercedes. What a lovely name.
And Diane from Wales.
Oh, well, hello, Diane.
All right.
And Diane sent us a super chat.
She did.
Okay.
All right.
So what are we doing now? We'll do another reading in a bit, or are you going to do something?
But we'll mix it up.
We'll jump around. Yeah, we'll jump around.
We'll do their readings.
I'll have
we'll
a
mix
quick
it up.
slurp while you're doing that.
And again, I'll just remind everybody that who's ever here listening, there's probably information here for you. That's why you showed up. So even if you've just tuned into this a couple days later and you can't get a reading, you can still listen to what was talked about, or or kind of connect to the group energy of the presentation. So next I want to talk a little bit about shamanism, I guess.
Ooh, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, you do.
No.
In shamanism, when we look at animal spirits, like power animals or animal totems, there is a difference. We learn about how the animal lives, how they behave, what do they eat, how do they hunt, how do they mate, all these kinds of things, to start to understand the essence of the medicine of that animal.
Yeah, it's in general terms, it's like all foxes sort of do this as a generality.
Right.
Yeah.
So
all
spiders
do this.
fox medicine is
Right,
this particular
right.
thing. And when we look to very ancient mythologies, many times they have anthropomorphic deities.
Oh, hello.
Like Hinduism, we have Hanuman and Ganesha.
They do that in Egyptian pantheons.
Egyptian pantheons, yes. And one of the oldest astrologies, which we know astrology is the underpinning for everything, one of the oldest astrologies is Chinese astrology. It's over 5,000 years old. So even though would be considered a modern Western astrologer, because I look at those outside planets that you can't see with the naked eye, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
So Chinese astrology older than Arabic astrology, you think?
I'd have to look to be sure, but the Sumerians, Chinese.
It's going back a while.
Sumerians,
but
Babylonians.
whatever, the Chinese are the real strongest. They totally connect to it. I think.
And this is on par with Babylonian and Sumerian astrology, absolutely. And it's a system that's been around for a long, long time. And the characters are all animals, unlike Western astrology where we have scales
but
and human.
Here's the thing. I just got to chuck this one in. Zodiac literally means circle of animals.
Right, the zodiac, yeah. All right.
Bet you didn't know that.
There you go.
Now you do.
So we are coming for the year of the water rabbit. So first we should think about the element. As good witches, we'll think about the element.
Elemental, my dear Watson.
Water is what? Healing, cleansing, connection to spirit, the ancestors, all the things that go along with the West.
What lies beneath, yeah.
What is hidden, the psyche, right?
Emotions.
The depths of the soul, emotions. So there's that energy in this year, a cycle that is governed by water. And then there is the rabbit energy. Well, fertility, right?
I guess. That's one way. Well, they do breed like rabbits.
Yeah. They're vegetarians.
They're
very
quick,
I think
aren't
they?
they?
Might. Sometimes
they're quick
they
and
might
change direction a lot.
They might eat bugs. Yes, they're quick and change direction a lot. And I wonder if you'd read the little quote. This book is one that I have in my book reviews.
If you've just sprung this in Mandarin on me, I'm not
No,
gonna...
The Handbook of Chinese Horoscope by Theodore Lau. And it's an old book, but I'm sure you could probably still get it somewhere. But I really love it. So I'd like for you to read just the little intro to rabbit.
What it says about the rabbit. I'll let you catch up.
I didn't know it was the circle of animals. Zodiac. Yep.
Zodiac. Yeah.
Zodiacal. Zoo
from zoology. The study of animals.
We do have Aquarius, which is a person, and Libra, which is a scale,
turning into an animal. Yeah, jumping from.
And the
animals.
Centaur guy, which is half man, half So interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, the rabbit. I'm in tune with the pulse of the universe. In my quiet and solitude, I hear the melodies of the soul. I float above commonplace descent and decay. I subdue by my ability to conform. That's interesting. I colour my world with delicate pastel hues. I epitomise harmony and inner peace. I am the rabbit.
So I think that gives us quite a lot of information. I think there's going to be a lot of responding and not reacting. Right?
I subdue by conforming.
I subdue by conforming.
That really stuck out to me.
Yeah. The dog is barking. I should bark back. No. The dog is barking. I should figure out why. right? So I think that this year bodes
That's your
well.
moon card. The dog is barking and you bark back. Everything louder than everything else.
You don't get anywhere, do you? So I think this year is going to be a little bit more of the hermitage stuff, because rabbit burrows and lives underground, and keeps its family safe underground, and all those kind of things. Again, we look at how rabbit lives to understand
Very
the energy
earth
of that
friendly.
magic.
Yeah, nice and
Yes.
warm and
Very-
cool.
yeah.
You know.
It does come out to eat and things like that.
Well,
but I'm just
obviously.
saying that we are in that transition of going from being extremely isolated and antisocial to learning how to be with people again. So I think rabbit medicine will help us respond to those fears and things as well. So I'm quite excited, and I am a water rabbit because there are 12-year cycles, right? So once every 12 years we come back to rabbit, and we have to move through the 5 elements because we have metal.
60-year term then.
60-year term. Oh my God.
gosh.
You can't tell how old I am
The
because
old
the fat
six-
spreads out the wrinkles.
The
So it's all-
sexagesimal stuff comes up so much, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does.
Oh yeah, the cycles of 60, yeah, and 12s. All right, definitely. All right, so next is Mercedes, and I think you go first.
Oh,
She wants
okay.
a
We
general.
could do that. Let's have a look. I feel this one, and I feel this one, and I feel, I guess this one then. And let's have a look what we got. Ooh, hello.
She's like, let me see the cards. Let me see the cards.
I just want to say straight off, and I'm going to go with my gut on this. If you're not right now planning a family, be a little careful.
And an addition to the family may be in the offing.
Yes. So
Well, it doesn't have to be her. It could be
no,
somebody
it could be
around her,
somebody
but-
around you, but that is really strongly indicated by the 3
to
cards I actually hold in my
Control
hand
the
right now.
situation in this relationship.
Yes. If growing the family is not in your plans, yes, yes, just be cautious.
Hi, Gilda.
But these cards actually have other meanings aside from that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
But
go
in
with
combination, they do kind of
this. They do.
talk about fertility.
Yeah, if that was a am I going to get pregnant card that that was your question. Hell
Very
yeah.
possible.
It's strongly indicated, I would say. But no, so this card, I love this card, the Empress. I mean, this really is the flow of abundance, and it really is from the nurture, and that the corn is the bread of life, and the corn has to give its life for us to survive. But it's really interesting that wheat, you rarely find like wheat and barley growing by itself. There's a symbiosis now that it's come to rely on us as part of that agriculture to
there has to be
to actually
farmed,
grow it,
yeah.
as it wouldn't be anywhere near as successful as it is. So it kind of gives us of itself so that we can live, because we also provide it with life, if that makes some kind of sense. And that's a really weird thing with the Empress card. You've got to understand that. So
A connection to all.
there is also, I mean, and if this is your first sprog, shall we say, for argument's sake, or if you're in the position where you're giving advice to somebody who is just starting a family,
Or nurturing
or
children.
nurturing, realize that this is a job for life. They're not a little designer accessory that you can just sort of like hang off you for a while, aren't they cute kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if your kid's like 70 years old and they broke their arm, you still got to go around and feed them, aren't you? You know, so there's that. That's that total commitment kind of thing. And this, I see this very much as about you finally getting back in control of things and realizing that you're not a passenger in your life. This very much is, resting back the sword of control, which is particularly good. And the Lover's card, leaving aside the whole physical relationship side of things, this can also indicate a partnership or a business relationship as well. But there may be strong differences of opinion in there. I mean, I always like this. I know Lisa and I differ on this, so I'll let her tell you your thing. But I mean, this to me is like, this is the one in the relationship who is more taken with, that which is not obvious, that which they want to get beneath, they want to understand stuff. Whereas this is like, well, more tits, beer and NASCAR, to be perfectly honest. It's like, well, why'd you have to go and like eat the apple? Now he's all pissed at us and we're going to get thrown out. Well, look, he set me bush on fire. You know, so so there is this. Sometimes we grow like this, and sometimes we grow like this. You know, so if that's something that's applicable to you, that may be the case. But it's okay. It's all good. I think this very much is a time of transformation for you, and I see things being pretty good actually, all in all. I'll let Lisa give you the proper reading now, and I'll shut up, eh?
Well, because of the Venus here, I do think that this is about relationship, and this is Archangel Raphael. So I feel, Mercedes, that there's a sense of healing and renewal within your personal relationship and within family relationships. So if there's been a rift or a disagreement, I feel like there's a great healing there. Then we notice that the background colors on both of these are quite yellow, and that has to do with solar plexus, which is willpower, independence, and confidence. And I think that's why you have this. I think that you're going to kind of rise to a place of confidence and release some fear, you know. When we're trying to move forward with whatever it is, oh no, bless you, it's going to be a whole bunch.
Me. I'm sorry.
Whenever you're trying to move forward with something, whatever it is, whether it's career or relationship or physical well-being, spirituality, whatever it is, the opposite of love is fear.
It is.
And it holds us back. So a good thing to do is to meditate and say, if I wasn't afraid of whatever, I would do this.
Ooh.
So, right? So if
There's
I
a
wasn't afraid of
challenge.
pissing somebody off, I'd tell them this. And if I, you know.
You just
right?
tell them anyway.
Yeah, I would. I'm old now. But I feel like there's a releasing of fear and a healing and a better sense of confidence within relationships in general. So that's my general reading for you.
Well, there you go. Hopefully that's some use.
But I think we could all kind of, what'd she say?
Different person. Hiya, Marmalena, if that's how you say it.
Oh, Marmalena. I know who that is.
You do?
I do. That's my fellow Aquarian.
Oh, my fellow Aquarians.
Marmalena.
Okay.
All right. So again, since you just showed up, I'm going to say to you, who's ever here is part of the oversoul of this reading. So listen up to what was said. There's Mercedes.
I'm trying to get a new career started, and I'm starting with very little. Hey, story of my life. I started with nothing and still have most of it left.
Well, if you didn't have fear, what would you do?
Yep.
If you didn't have fear of risk of the money, or you didn't have fear of risk of talking kindly about yourself, whatever it is,
right.
if I wasn't afraid, I'd do whatever.
With that clarification, the Empress card is a great, it's the birth of something.
Nurturing
so
something,
nurturing
birth
your
of
own
something,
business is
absolutely.
particularly good. And it is very much about resting back that sort of control, and just doing your own thing. So use what you've learned and be not afraid, be not afraid. And I think you did. It's good cards. They are good cards. Very
All
positive.
right, so this is Diane, and she wants to know what Spirit has to tell her. A Juan.
A one.
Oh, this is way over here.
A two.
Three.
A three. And the answer is...
Oh my goodness, what wonderful
hello.
cards. What is life without adventure? All right, so you have the Three of Cups, celebration.
I love it.
The Fool, faith, and soulmates.
They're lovers, baby. But the
Now,
minor kind of lovers. Yes.
I don't think that this is necessarily just about an intimate relationship. I think this is broader. You may find true love, but I think this is about soul buddies, not just about soul mate. And I feel like you're coming into something that is bigger than the people involved, and that this year is about you truly finding your place in that group and connecting to the well, you see, like their cups are kind of the streams of Awen, aren't they? Land, sea, and sky. Or rediscovering something within that faith or that group. A giant aha. And I think, because I know a little bit about what's going on, I think there's something in the Barthas or something with Yolo Morgana
Oh, YOLO.
that is going to really plant a seed for you that grows and helps you to understand you're in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. And always have faith in yourself. Always take that step, you know. We always say that the fool knows he's either going to be given a soft landing or he's going to learn how to fly. And I think that you are going to come into a position within this group of soul buddies.
Yeah, I do think this is a higher purpose that we've got going on here, and that it very much is a strong comradeship and shared.
2 and 3 of cups, my
Yeah,
goodness.
these are cracking cards. They really are. Nothing to be sneezed at, even though I was sneezing earlier. They really are. I see this as somehow this is mutually healing. This is actually repairing something that got broken a while back, and it's long overdue that it got repaired. But I think it is getting repaired, and I think this finally, for you particularly, finally getting in a good relationship with yourself and realizing your true worth, and I think is the key that allows you now to move forwards. Truth be told, I think, Diana, and I know this is public and all that sort of stuff, but truth be told, I think you've not been too kind to yourself previously, and I really feel that, you know, when we align with those thoughts, when we manifest those thoughts in our life, we align with, you know, less than perfect energy for ourselves. But when you finally get out of your own way, so to speak, you know, it's like me saying to you, Diane, look at this beautiful forest here. And you say, what chuffing forest? All I see is this huge like tree in front of me. Maybe if I cut it down, I'll see the forest, you know. No, you actually have to get your ass out of there and look back and go, oh, that's a forest. And then when you go in the forest, it changes completely. And I think for you to actually truly get to know yourself, I really feel that the Fool it's like now we can start again with a new perspective, with the wisdom that we've learned, and this then propels you into a totally different league, I think, and I think realization of your soul's purpose is very much on the cards for you, and I do think, speaking also about Yolo Morganog, I think somebody somewhere needs to start redressing the balance, because I think that poor guy got a really bad rap unnecessarily, and I think maybe you might have a hand in redressing that somewhere along the line.
And I'd just like to add that Spirit usually likes to challenge us, so accept the challenge, right? If somebody says, could you do this task, or can you do this task, or take the challenge, and
that will be easy for me to get.
all right. Yeah.
Okay. Oh dear, yes. I know you're not talking to me, but you're answering questions I've been looking for answers to. See, well,
exactly. This is what we say. Whoever shows up to, even if you're tuning into this a week later, you're then connecting to the oversoul of who's gathered here and the information that's coming through. And I think that's important. But I do think that love is the strongest emotion and fear is the opposite.
Second most powerful force in the universe, definitely.
Right?
But
hate is not the opposite of love.
No.
Fear.
Hate is actually very similar to love in a way. There's a passion there.
Right, but
There's a
fear is
real
the
passion,
opposite of
but-
love, and sometimes our fear holds us back from understanding. Yeah.
It does.
All right.
Well, this is bloody marvelous.
It's
I'm
been
loving.
wonderful
I am loving this.
time so
I'm
far.
like, so guys, just to be dead cheeky, if you haven't already, would you please hit that like button, mash the like button,
Oh, help
and
us,
please,
please.
because it helps the channel, and we're trying to be less of a well kept secret, which we seem to be still a well kept secret. So you guys can help us be less of a well kept
Right,
secret by
I was
liking
doing
and
this-
subscribing and all that fun
I was
stuff.
doing the spy work, and again, not to be,
Judgmental.
well, no, not to be
Snobbish.
in ego. I was doing the spy work to figure out why are people watching this particular person's thing, and how did they get found? You know, I watched a video by someone, I won't say who it is, who's extremely popular, right? They have 100,000 subscribers, and their videos get, 30, 40,000 views. And they were talking about a book by an author whose name they could not pronounce. And we knew that author personally. And he had come to the store and explained his work. And, and I thought, well, how is, everybody's watching this person who's doing their best. I don't believe that they are just in ego doing it for money. I don't mean that. I don't want to portray that. But I'm saying, here's someone who doesn't even know how to say this person's name. And then here we are, like, languishing in obscurity, where we could really help people. So just,
what do you have to do?
I mean, come on. The shop will be 30 years old in May.
Oh, we got some
We
cool
have a
plans for
lineage. We have a, we've devoted our lives. How do we find the people who are looking for us, right? Well, it ain't Instagram, and I can't TikTok, and Facebook is screwed up. How do we
TikTok
find
is
the people?
so ephemeral. Though,
Nobody
isn't it? It's
reads
just-
their emails anymore. How do we get?
Well, it's because spammers
to find the
spammers
people-
have destroyed the value of email.
Oh my God,
totally.
yeah. Well, spammers
know?
have destroyed everything.
And spammers are now trying to destroy the value of text communication, which we're doing a lot of. Not a lot of, but we're starting to do that more to get in touch
Oh, we're
with people.
texting people
yeah.
because, but
But,
that's limited
I
as
mean,
well.
like-
You could give like a sentence,
But I mean, like,
don't know.
just today I got 3 total junk texts, from your Amazon account has been compromised, your PayPal account has been. It's all absolute
Yeah.
crap,
Anyway,
But it's just
all right. So
please, we
coming
want to
up,
talk to our people.
I
Well,
want to.
thank you, Diane. That's
Yeah,
very
thank
sweet
you,
of you to
Diane.
say
And
that.
thank you,
and thank you for watching. We do appreciate it.
Marmalena.
We appreciate you guys a lot. It's really nice. It's nice to do this. We like to do this. You haven't talked about these. You brought them
I
out.
said
Mr.
coming up, and then you went on a tangent.
I'm sorry.
good.
I thought you were gonna. I thought we were about to call it quits. I thought that's it. We were like,
No, I said
so
coming
up
up.
in the future. I better shut up then. Haven't
No,
I?
coming up, I have. I'm starting to get back into classes.
Yes.
So we're going to have chakra crystal energy clinician certification,
That's a big one.
and that's going to be the last Sunday of every month. It's a 4-hour Sunday class, and it will be on Zoom as well as in person.
Mm-hmm.
And if you live close by, it's always better to come in person. But if you feel that you're not well or you live far away, you could always do it on Zoom. So with that class, you get over 60 crystals
Oh, it's a lot.
and
It's a lot.
intense information about each chakra and the crystals that go with them. And then in the end, you learn how to do crystal prescriptions and energy work with the crystals. So that one's coming up the last Sunday of the month.
I mean, the handbook you put together there is
Like
it's a book in its
400
own
some odd
right.
pages. And then the other class that I think is invaluable for anyone, regardless of what they want to do, is astrology. And that's going to be once a month as well. It starts on the last Monday, but then going forward for the next 11 classes, it's going to be the second Monday night. And astrology truly is the foundation of any other work. There's astrology in tarot, there's astrology in palmistry, there's astrology in the craft, there's astrology in just about anything you're going to do. So having a working knowledge of at least the planets and the signs is really important.
It's helpful. It really is. It clarifies an awful
that
lot.
Going on, shameless plug.
Thank you for the kind words, Savannah. We love you too, and thank you so much. And no, it's not. It is not my wedding tux. It's similar. It is similar, but this isn't. It isn't the one. No.
But you're right. We did get married in blue and white tie dyes on the beach. Yep.
In Antigua, yeah. Believe it or not.
It's close, but no, it's a new one.
Yeah, barefoot on the beach in Antigua.
That's the way to go.
That was ideal.
Right?
Yeah. I think that was the last proper holiday we actually had.
Your wedding tux, I love it.
we were actually planning on going back there for our 20th anniversary, but COVID. Yep.
Anyway.
So maybe the 25th, we'll see.
There you go, maybe the 25th.
Maybe
All
the
right.
25th.
So the other thing that we're trying to do is give people tools if they're solitaries. So we have subscriptions.
Because
I've also noticed that there's a lot of these little subscription things that seem to be very popular, or at least those companies are paying to advertise themselves. So I'm really trying to figure out how to find the people who are looking for us. So as some of you know, we make all of our own votive candles.
That we do.
So it's either Anton or Danny, and I have some say in it. I've helped with choosing ingredients and
occasionally our familiars have also tested the wicks for quality.
Charlotte likes to steal wicks.
Of them.
She's crazy, and she stole one drinking straw out of the box. We still don't know how she got it out. The hole is only this big. But anyway, so we have a monthly subscription called Candle Club. Now the candles are $3.75 a piece.
Normally.
Mm-hmm. So if you come in the store and you buy 10,
we'll give you the 11th.
You get the 11th free. So you get 11 candles for $37.50. But if you're on the Candle Club, you get to choose 8 candles that you would like to have, and you get 3 what we call special pours.
Not available anywhere else.
Go along with what's going on. And you only pay $25.
That's a hell of a savings.
So for $25 a month, instead of $37.50, you get the 11 candles and you save the $12.50, plus you get special pours. So this coming Candle Club, you get Rowan Berry, because Rowan is the Celtic lunation.
I don't have a sniff of that. It smells gorgeous.
Rowan Berry, red thread, keep us safe from all dread. Okay. You get Valentine, because coming up, Valentine's Day.
So it is.
And you get Year of the Water Rabbit. So Anton made these that the bottom is water and the top looks like the sable fur of a rabbit. So if you join the Candle Club, you get a box of candles each month. 8 of them are your choice, because you might say, oh gosh, I need 4 elements candles refilled, or I'd like to have Gual Mer in bulk, or whatever it is that you want to put in your February box. I'm working on career, so I want Lang Lang and abundance and money draw, right? So you choose 8, and we have 120 regular choices. And then we have made 3, especially for what's going on in the coming month. So if you join up now, you get February's kit. You can pick 8, and you'll get Water Rabbit, Rowan Berry, and Valentine, what you have here.
So the Joy Candle we did as a special, actually. We
have Blessing, we have Blessing, which is very close to it.
Laughter, confidence, positive energy.
Positive energy would be a good one. But
we actually packaged it in that uplifting thing with
what I'm saying is, I know the components that were in the Joy Candle, and they are very similar to what's in Blessing. And then they're also very similar to Jupiter, which is joy, jovial, Jupiter.
Jovial.
Yeah, the planet of expansion. So this is what I mean. Like, we can answer these kind of questions, right? Do you have something similar to the joy candle used to make? Yes, blessing or Jupiter.
I personally love the center Jupiter. It's one of my favorites.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
And Jupiter, jovial, joy, that whole connection to ninth house, expansion. What is
Not at all, Savannah. You can light it anytime you want.
What?
So started a water rabbit candle last night. Should I?
Absolutely. No, that's fine.
Totally.
You can light it anytime.
Anytime.
And think about what's coming. Where'd my little red book go?
I don't know.
I didn't read you the other bit.
Wasn't my turn to watch it.
No, and I was talking about subscriptions, but now I'm gonna.
Now we're gonna go. We're just gonna go off on a tangent. As is the way. You know, we always like tangents. Tangents within tangents.
Water rabbit.
Smells good actually. Water.
Ready here, guys? Promotions, career advancement, financial coups, reap unexpected benefits, investments, and funds once considered lost can be recovered. Happy tidings, celebration for the home, joy and romance. Projects that have been worked on are coming to fruition. It's a definite time to make hay while the rabbit moon shines.
Anna, yours is an easy fix. She said, bought a love grid there pre-COVID some years ago. Came with a green and pink candle, which is long gone. Can I buy green and pink candles there?
Heart
the
chakra.
candle it came with is heart chakra, and it's a regular production one. We have them in stock.
Yep.
So there you go. Heart chakra, love. Think about that one. So yep, that's definitely, it's in our run of chakras. We have all of them, and we make chakra mists as well for people who can't burn candles for whatever reason.
If they can't do the burning thing or the smoke thing, we have mists.
We do have mists.
All right.
Yes.
So the other thing I want to talk about is because we're in the age of Aquarius now.
Years.
The old gods are stirring.
I do believe they are.
And more and more people are looking to do magic. You know, maybe they came from one of the revealed religions and they know how to pray, right?
It's a start.
But prayer is kind of asking. Meditation is listening.
Yes.
And magic is manifesting.
Actually doing.
So instead of just praying to receive benefit, magic is you taking an active part in manifesting your prayer. And you may do some meditation and focus in that magic. You may do some prayer in that magic. But the idea of becoming a magical being, connecting yourself to the flow of energy, to the universe, and beginning to do that work is something that a lot more people seem to be talking about. What's that, Savannah?
Oh, how about that? That's good. Savannah says, I love the mists. I spray a little of the positive energy mist in my hair when I know I'm going to be around negative people.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
We have go smudge yourself. One of the most popular ones. We actually do a little tiny one which can fit in your little pocketbook. Now, why is your pocketbook? It doesn't go in your pocket and it's not a book. Why on earth would you do? You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? The pocket sage?
No, the little handbags. Why do you call them pocketbooks? That's strange.
Anyway,
so we have those, and they're really cool. So you know, you get negative people around you. Just go, it's just for me allergies.
sage.
Nice mist of sage around you. It's really cool.
Evil be gone.
We make that ourselves, and it's absolutely lovely.
Can you read the next chapter? I can't see from here.
Are you in the shop on Tuesday again, or do you have regular days again, or will you? Yes, Lisa is back reading.
Friday, Saturday.
For sure.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday. But I don't read on Psychic Fair Saturday. I have to run the desk.
Somebody's got to keep charge of the asylum, haven't
That's
they?
crazy, yeah. But yeah, Fridays. I'm always there on Fridays and Saturdays these days. Slowly getting back into the routine of things, but also wearing a ton of other hats. You know, we're still trying to write our next book, and you know, we're doing this Monday thing, and there's just all these things that are happening.
The days are just packed.
Right. So, getting back to the magic.
Yes.
I want to talk about something called Magickal year.
Yes, not just Mondays, a whole darn year.
A whole darn year. So, Magickal year is another one of our subscription programs with a purpose, right? So it's not just, oh, here's this froofy box of froofy things that you can use to froof up your froofy house.
Because it's froofy.
It's, here's a kit for you to do magic with. You can do new moon magic, full moon magic, or sympathetic magic to turn the wheel. So right now, in the Celtic lunar astrology, the next new moon that ushers in the year of the water rabbit will also be the second lunation of Rowan. And Rowan is very fiery. So if you choose to get new moon kits, you will get the information for Rowan. It talks about its connection of colors and planets and elements and crystals and power animals and Celtic deity and zodiacal traits and the folklore of Rowan. And it combines that with the full moon that's coming, because it's in the lunation of Rowan, right? So Rowan happens, and then within that cycle of Rowan, we have a full moon and a Sabbath. So then you get the information for the Leo full moon, called the quickening moon, because Imbolc is the time of quickening. It gives all the correspondences for that, and then you would get a kit for a spell working. And this kit is going to have a red pillar candle and a little dream catcher pendant.
Oh, hello.
So you'll be given the instructions to do the candle magic to charge that item.
Well, I love the bit. This is where we get snobby again. I'm not naming names here, but somebody once walked into our store and looked at the little display on our altar and they go, you know, we're in the time of Aquarius. What do they mean, Leo full moon? They know nothing. Well, hello. It has
The
to
moon
be
is always full
opposite.
opposite the sun.
Has to be opposite the sun, so it's 180 degrees down the zodiac if it's
And
full.
then towards the end of February, we have another new moon. So you get the information for the next lunation, which is Alder. And it gives all the correspondences for that, Brown the Blessed and all that.
Gwern.
And the Pisces new moon, and Pisces is connected to dream time. So for that kit, you're going to get a beautiful disc. It's about that thick and this big around, and it's a selenite disc with a tree of life carved on it.
Excuse
and
us.
you get information for magical spell working for dreams.
I've been hunting down all sorts of fun stuff, haven't you? I know that.
Oh yeah.
Been a crazy man to buy it.
Right. And then Imbolc's Celtic connection is to fir. Sweep breeds bed with a branch of fir. Yeah. So you get all the information about that, and you get information about Gwalmer or Gwalfred or Imbolc, and you get it's about house clearing or house cleaning, spring cleaning. So I found these beautiful little Tibetan bells, like they called tenjing or something like that. So you'll do a directional clearing or cleaning of energy, which is not just clearing the energy within your home, but it's also an astral clearing.
Ooh.
So the kits are $25 if you buy them individually. Right? So you can say, I'm just going to do full moons. That's the only magic I have time for. I'm going to do full moon magic, so I'm going to get 12 kits at $25. Or you might say, I don't really know anything about the Sabbats, so I'm just going to do Sabbats. You could do 8 kits at $25.
You could.
Or you could say, I kind of like to start my magic on a new moon, so I'm just going to do the new moon kits.
You could.
12 kits at $25.
Flexibility, eh?
Or you could say, I'm in for everything. I want to do new moons, full moons, and Sabbats.
I want to
and
lead
you
a
can
magical
get,
life.
the entire thing for $60 a month. So you would
It's
save,
pretty good value, that. I think,
well, because there's 12 at 25, 12 at 25,
And 8 at
and
25.
8 at 25. So there's 32 at 25. Which works out to, I don't remember how much, but
some beans, my lord.
at $60 a month, you would save like $720 on the year. So there, if you want to sign up for that, that's really cool. If you want to jump in for the new year and advance your magical knowledge and your astrological knowledge and your understanding of correspondences and the Celtic lunar zodiac and all the things that go along in our tradition. For anybody who's taken Craft of the Wise, you would get that this is a great way to connect to our tradition. The other thing we do have is Witchy Wonders, which are random items.
Well, they have a purpose. They're not
but they do
completely
purpose, right?
random, you know.
No, like
we send you a halibut.
No, one of the items we had in there was a chakra goddess with a chakra crystal set, and we talked about how to do a chakra cleansing. I have some really great stuff coming up. I'm really excited about some things that I've sourced for people. And March's subscription kits are going to be great too. So for $25 a month, you can join Witchy Wonders. And one time we gave, I think it was obsidian balls that were a pretty good size.
It's a bit of a bargain.
Usually the value in a Witchy Wonders kit is somewhere between $30 and $40.
Occasionally a bit more.
But because occasionally a bit more. But because you're committing to that $25 a month, I find really cool things. I was just thinking about some of the other stuff.
Sometimes you've given people like a brand new deck that's just
we did the witches. Little Gypsy Witch deck, which is a deck book set, and Anton made a special Gypsy Witch candle to go with that. We gave garnet obelisks the one time. So, there's crystals or different divination tools in there and a little explanation of how to use them. And I think coming up, there's going to be a zodiac altar cloth and information of how to do a tarot spread for the year for yourself. So,
exciting.
Witchy Wonders, if you don't want to get involved with timed magic, right, which is 3 days for this, 3 days for this, 3 days for this, the day before, the day of, the day after. If you don't want to get involved with timed magic or make a commitment to the Wheel of the Year, you could do Witchy Wonders once a month. You could. Because that's also an investment in your spirituality. It's not just going to be a froofy box of disconnected things. It's going to be, here's this tool and here's how to use it and incorporate it into your magical life.
Yeah, you say random, man. There is a purpose.
All right.
Not entirely
So check
random.
back later today. I'm going to try to get some of my book reviews up.
Oh my God. Ambitious. That's all I want to say. I think Savannah's taken with the idea of taking the sage mist or whatever.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Sounds much better than spending money on the myriad witch kits available on Etsy. Just saying. Well,
again, I'm not putting them down. They're there serving a purpose. But I feel like there's this big influx of fluffy, bunny, I don't really understand this, but I love it and it's groovy and cool. Right?
Maybe it's wet bunny.
I don't really understand it, but I love it, and it's cool, and it's trendy, and everybody wants to be a witch, so I'm throwing my hat in the ring, and I am now going to be the leader of this coven. Okay.
Is it Boba Fett's coven?
But again, understanding how something works, you could have a lot more success at using it, right? Case in point, the computer. We'll end where we began.
No!
I have no idea how it works, so it defeats me a lot. And if I had no idea how magic is planned, I might not get my result. What's Savannah saying, please?
I'm excited about the Witchy Wonders coming up. Would love to do the Wheel of the Year. Not sure I can commit, I think she's trying to say that.
Right.
Well, whatever you can do,
we just need to know in advance so that we know how many things to purchase for those kits, right?
You don't have to do it over 3 days. You've got that wiggle room 3 day
right. No, I'm
period.
saying we'll tell you the day of the new moon, and it would be best to plan to do your spell working the day before, the day of, or the day after that lunation. And with the Sabbat, you could go a little longer than that, because many people celebrate Imbolc on February 1st, but
Although
the
it's a
true
cross
cross
quarter.
quarter is at 15 degrees
Which
Aquarius.
is the fourth this year, right?
Right. So you have a little more leeway for Sabbats. And same with the full moon. The energy is good the night before, the night of, and the night after. So you have, that's what I'm talking about, 3-day windows. But again, you could do your moon catcher thing, and you could have the energy of whatever full moon and open it up into your circle and do that spell whenever you want it. Or if the spell you get is about prosperity, you could do it for a whole week if you wanted to, right? So you get the spell and it says, we're going to focus on your dreams. And you think, well, that's cool. I'm going to do the dream spell from the new moon for a whole 2 weeks till the full moon. Every night I'm going to charge that disc and charge my dreams, and I'm going to keep a dream journal for these 2 weeks and see what kind of prophecies come true from what I got. So there's all kinds of ways to use them. And if I had more time, I would do a video for each of the months and give that kind of information where, you could do this for 2 weeks, or you could do this for any time, or
You couldn't. You know what? When you get comfortable with Final Cut, you'll realize you can actually just do it like as a vlog directly to your computer, and bada bim, bada boom.
Yeah.
So it's just just got to learn stuff, isn't it? I mean, things can be quick when you've learned how to do it. So
exactly, this is my case in point. If you want to manifest and you want success, know what you're doing, not just why you're doing it. Right? I'm doing this because I want to generate a new career. That's why I'm doing it. Well, what are you going to use? What are the correspondences? What energy are you going to put into it? Rather than just say, oh, great goddess, please bestow upon me a new career. Well, that's good. At least you're focused on that.
Joshua, meet me halfway, buy a ticket.
Right. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to wear green or yellow for confidence to the job interview. Ah, okay, that's even better. You got a job interview. Knowing how it works is
Aligning
really
with those energies.
important, exactly, to getting in that stream of consciousness. And how you word things, right? We've talked about this before, I am, right? I am. And looking at things, look at the sentence that you write. Is it in the positive, right? Even if you're not comfortable with saying, I am wealthy. Maybe you're feeling so poor, you can't make that statement just yet. Don't make the statement that says, I am no longer poor, because you're kind of putting poor into that.
Yeah, keep away from negative
Try to be
statements,
something positive, like, I am working to become wealthy. And once you kind of understand that mindset, energy does follow thought, right? I'm not going to put the word poor into my manifesting richness. Just saying.
I want to just expand on that so much, because it really does. Magic comes down to 99.9% of all magic is headology.
Yeah.
It really is. But it's your head, and your head controls the ship for the most part. So, if the captain of the ship is not got a good helm, then we ain't going the right place. So, one of the things that we state so often, I just can't do that, and you're right. You're absolutely bloody right.
Can't.
You have declared yourself unable to do that,
Or you're in fear over it.
Right.
I'm afraid because previously I fell on my face and now I'm afraid to try.
Well, that's looking at why you feel you can't. But let's before we get into the sort of deep analysis of why you feel you can't, the very first point you have to accept to solve any problem, and this is a given, all right? You have to accept there is a possibility of a solution, all right? If you don't accept there is a possibility of a solution, you can never solve that problem.
Right,
It will
you
never
might
be
have fallen
solved.
flat on your face,
Yeah.
but you survived it. You're still here. So now you have another chance.
So we then accept there's a possibility of a solution. So instead of I can't, is you know, I might be able to do that. I might be able to do that. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can.
The first step was a success.
I am.
Yep, I can, I am.
And that's it. It really is that, because you're the only thing that's standing in your own way at the end of the day. The blocks that you put up are the blocks that you put up. And it's very subtle. And Lisa's so right. More often than not, it can come down to fear. And some people fear being successful as much as they fear failing.
Well, fear breeds worry. Ugh. What if I don't have enough money to pay that bill? What if they turn my lights off? Oh my God, what if? What if
they expect me to work 7 days a week? You know,
fall in that pit
so
of fear, rather than saying, I know I will be provided for. I will find a way to manifest the money to pay that bill.
This can be solved is a good place to start, because you have to accept there's a solution to the problem to actually solve the problem. Otherwise, you're screwed from the get-go. You put yourself an insurmountable block.
And everybody's reality is different, right? Like, remember, we always talk about hurdling the elephant, eating one tiny piece at a time. But there's also perspective about that. I don't know if you remember the 4 blind men. Then the elephant, and each one had to describe the animal that they had in front of them. And, you know, one blind man said, my gosh, it's like a huge tree trunk, and it's formidable and immovable, and it's giant. I can just get my arms around it. And the next man said, you're insane. It's really thin and skinny and flat and waves like a flag. He had the ear. Mm. The next one said, well, I think you're both crazy. It's a giant long tube, like a musical instrument, and air is coming in and out of the end of it. And the last guy said, you're all nuts. It's like a rope with a frayed end. He had the tail. So perspective is huge.
Well, you see from where you're standing.
You see from where you're standing.
Ultimately.
So what you really need to do, instead of just be adamant about the tube playing music or the tree that's immovable, is take into consideration the people who are corresponding with you and recognize all of these bits are part of the same thing that you want to conquer. And you have to kind of put it together.
Well, there's that old adage, he who stands with crap up to neck is the best place to tell you how deep the crap is, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But that you know, we don't make, that's another good point, because...
Success scares me more than failure.
Bless,
well,
we
then
need to fix that,
you got to get that out of your space, right?
Why
are you afraid of success?
You know, be epic. Fun being epic.
A lot of the things we're working on don't come with a manual either.
No. There is no operator's manual.
There's no operator's manual.
Where is the bloody... So, you don't come with a manual, I'll tell you that.
So be prepared, right? Be prepared.
It's not about, well, which button should I press and which order should I press them? Don't work with you, does it? You know what I'm saying? You have to understand the metaphor.
Exactly.
Which takes us right back to computers. But when you understand the metaphor, when you understand what it is that you're trying to do, and you know how it's sort of expressed, it's easy to figure. It's easier to figure it out.
All right.
It's easier. That's my take on this grand scheme of things.
That's our little jaunty magical Monday magic for this Monday.
I love the way we came full circle.
Doesn't it always?
It usually does.
It all comes down to the 4 elephants. I mean, the
4
elements.
Yes, on the back of the great turtle. Yeah. Yes. What is your elephant? Yeah. No.
What part of the elephant are you holding on to? Right. What part of the elephant are you holding on to?
Elephants are really useful. They are. And lovely creatures. They are.
A memory that never forgets.
Well, they say that. Maybe just one of those myth things. I mean, how do you know
magic.
An elephant?
It's the
elephant
medicine.
Never forgets. Elephant never forgets. I bet there's at least one forgetful elephant out there. You're like, oh, where the hell did I leave that?
With dementia or something? All right. Anyway. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Tell your friends about us.
If you don't mind wasting a little electricity, go to our page, our YouTube page, the shop page, and just let all the videos play through. Even if you play them through without sound.
You're shameless.
We need to be found, right? But if all of you just played our videos in the background while you were doing your housework or without sound even, it would help us a whole lot. So I know not everybody has money for super chats. I know not everybody has money to sign up for subscriptions. But I know that a lot of people that come to this place really want to help us. And to help us, you could like, comment, and subscribe and let our videos play. And that would be a huge help. We've just gotten to 12,000 subscribers. Our next hurdle is 50. So 10 was the big hurdle. Our next hurdle now is 50, and we'd really love to get there. So the more people that watch it, the more YouTube shows it to other people.
I think we need to tell people to hit the notify button. I think that's half the issue, because not enough people know when we come online. They go, oh, I missed that. Damn, I missed that.
Well, they go back and watch it.
Well, they can,
Anyway.
but if you hit that, there's a little bell thing when you just subscribe. If you haven't done that yet, go check. Then you will actually receive notifications when we post anything or we go live or we put a post up, because we do put posts up on all that sort of stuff. We can't keep sending people texts to say, oh look, we're going live in an hour, because it's not without cost, to be honest. So there you go. Oh no, thank you for watching.
Thank
Savannah.
you so much. Thank you,
really
everybody,
do.
and we'll see you next Monday live.
Yes, we will.
And watch for those book reviews. They'll be coming out soon. All right.
Very soon. She'll be working on it
Peace.
as we speak.
Blessed be, and we'll put links later to the subscriptions for people who are looking.
Yes, we will. All right. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and we'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.